Welcome, Prowl Nation, to Lunchtime Detroit Lions Talk. It's brought to you by the Detroit Lions on the Prowl and the Belly Up Sports Network. We're going to talk about a lot of cutting today. But first, let me kick it to my main man, the man of steel himself, Curt Steele.
What up, though? Welcome to the show, people. You know who we are. We are Detroit Lions on the Prowl. Your home for Detroit Lions news and rumors. And as always, be a Prowl Nation. Join the family, subscribe to the channel. But now I got to kick it to the third man on the crew, the new guy in the building, my man, LL Cool Torrence.
What's up? What's up, everybody? Good morning.
Hey, let's get this thing started
right now.
Let go.
It's Detroit Lions Talk, baby.
We're going to get up, and on the way up, we're going to bite a kneecap off.
Yes, sir. We in the deep. Hey, welcome back to the show, people. Now, Dan Campbell in his presser the other day had some interesting things to say about personnel on the team. So, Jim, what do you have on this?
Well, he said that there may be some surprise cuts coming, and it's interesting. I don't want to read too much into it, but every time Dan Campbell says something, you have to pay attention because every time he gives his hand away every single time. He can't help it. He's an honest dude. So here's the thing. I think people in trouble right now, of course, we all know Jelani Tavai. That's a no-brainer. But Breshad Perriman might be. Could be, maybe. So we'll talk about that in a while also. But there's other guys on this roster that you never know. You know, I don't know. When he cut Don Muhlbach, that shocked me. It really did.
It did.
So he is ruthless. He calls himself an asshole, and that's fine with me. I mean, you got to make this team better. But the Detroit Lions did make some cuts, and none of them were really, that earth-shattering. But Curt, what do you got on those cuts?
All right, so we have the Detroit Lions. They released Darius Jennings yesterday, and then they waived nose tackle P.J. Johnson, running back Javon Leake, outside linebacker Robert McCray, and quarterback who was there for definitely a Tim Hortons quarterback Jordan Tamau. He was just there in the building. Now he was on the team last year for a bit. They brought him in, but those injuries to the quarterbacks that we had that we thought were going to be long term, they didn't seem to work out that way. So those guys stayed on the roster. But what do you think about the individuals that we released and what Dan Campbell had to say, LL?
Well, I can understand them all. The one that was probably the most shocking was Robert McCray. I thought that he might have got a little bit more time, but here at least. But I don't know. Like you guys said, he already said, he's going to make the cuts as necessary. Even if he has labeled himself an asshole for it. So,
Hey, I would say this about him. He's true to the fact he keeps it 1,000. He goes past 100. He keeps it 1,000. If you said something, you can pretty much bet bet the house on what he said is going to become true. So Dan Campbell keeps it truthful. There's not a lot of suspense when it comes to this stuff. So you're going to see some players that you thought was going to make the roster, like you said, are not going to be in Detroit when the season starts. But hey, it's going to be some guys, and I'll talk about one bigger name later on. But you look at Jelani Tavai, they gave this kid all the chances in the world. I mean, and I like the kid, but he lost the weight. He did the things in the offseason that they asked him to do. However, it did not translate to playing on the field. It's just his instincts are off. He just doesn't have the ability to play in this defense. Maybe he can go somewhere and play and be great. I mean, he can go to New England and look like Kyle Van Noy. Yeah, he could be another Van Noy or something. But
I'm going to ask you guys about one name, and I know this sounds crazy.
What's up?
Amani Oruwariye.
Nah, he'll be on the roster.
Think he's going to be safe?
I
think he's going to be safe. I think he'll be safe.
There's reasons why I'm saying that. We won't get into that right now, but it was just a guy that I don't know.
He's not a guy you looking at like maybe he's on his way out the door.
Since we cut Dunbar, but I'm looking for us to pick up a number two corner. Okay. I think that either that or safety's coming in the building after these cuts are made.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the camp cuts.
We'll see.
And I think the added extra week of, when we got rid of the 4th preseason game, now you have an extra week in between the preseason and the regular season. There's going to be a lot of moves that's going to happen roster wise around the league, not just in Detroit. So, all right, hey everyone, if you like the content you're checking out, hit the subscribe button, join the channel, and give us a like. You know what I'm saying? So, Jim, what do you have for your family discussion topic for today?
I've got 5 guys that stood out in practice, but let's preface this. This was hardly a practice. This is just stuff that people are getting reps, kind of a weird situation. I think they only had like 40 people that were there, so it's kind of a weird situation. That's why we don't have the pain train today, because of that situation. A lot of people who stood out. TJ Hawkinson. Now, if he's hurt, it's a very well kept secret. He looked great. He looked good out there. And so he's wearing a red jersey so he doesn't get hit. He was teasing they were switching him to quarterback.
Yeah.
But it was pretty funny. But he 5 out of 6 passes, and Dean Marlowe got a hold on the one that he didn't catch. He's very impressive today. John Penasini, another name that, is he a bubble guy? I don't know. But first practice back from injury, he showed light on his feet. He was fast.
Caveat:
his speed and twitchiness for that big dude.
It's a caveat though. He changed numbers.
No, I didn't.
He is number 98 now.
98 now.
He is 98 now. That's a caveat.
Okay.
I was like, because I watched the game on Saturday. I was like, what is Penasini doing? I'm like, oh, that's not Penasini. That's not even.
I thought the same thing, because the other guy was wearing 61, and I'm like,
I'm like, that's not John Penasini. No, Penasini changed numbers. He's now number 98. I like that fact that he's actually making himself, a valuable part. He plays like he played last year. He'll be a big piece in that rotation with Aleem McNeil and those guys.
And I'd love to see a goal line package with him and McNeil on the same line.
Oh yeah,
that's some beef right there.
And Onwuzurike, holy crap. Bobby Price is another one that kind of showed up in practice. He had a bounce back day, looking pretty good. So he had a couple pass breakups, one with Victor Bolden and one on Breshad Perriman. Neither a huge surprise.
Yeah.
But blanket coverage rep against John McKinley looked pretty good. Aubrey Pleasant says Price is transitioned to corner instead of safety now. So he's aggressive, intensive, versatile, and passionate. This is apart from just being an athlete. And I think, that switch really might have made him more valuable to the team. That in special teams as well with him.
Right.
And 2 more. Nikel Roby Coleman. Now, Khalif Raymond is the real deal, and really made him look kind of stupid. But he's had some good reps. He had a pass breakup on Ratley, who we haven't seen much of so far. And he blanketed St. Brown in coverage, which is hard to do. So, I think he's going to do okay. Khalif Raymond is my sleeper guy for this year. He really is.
I don't think he's a sleeper anymore to me. I think
I watched him live.
That guy's the deal.
Fly, man. And he's twitchy.
Yeah, so guy's the deal.
He's doing good. And Romeo Aquara, man, he is the team's best pass rusher. He kind of messed up Sewell a little bit. He even messed up Taylor Decker on one. So he's going again.
Yeah.
He won every rep against Rashad Berry. That's no big feat.
Yeah.
But
you know what though? You know what, Jim?
He's our guy.
I thought about something. Somebody and people. This is thing is going around the internet, right? And they were like, "Oh man, we never should have drafted Sewell. We should have drafted Justin Fields." Jesus. If you look at how Sewell got blew up by Melvin Ingram, I'm like,
Melvin Ingram's a
dude. Do y'all not know who Melvin Ingram is? I mean, this guy is a perennial All-Pro, Pro Bowler. He's one of the best pass rushers in the league.
Yeah, that makes no sense to me.
He does that to veterans, not just the rookies. He does that to a lot of people. So this is the
huge
thing.
Kool-Aid drinker, everybody knows that.
But but like you gotta
have a show on Pump the Brakes.
I mean, he's a rookie. I mean, like you think he's gonna come in? First of all, the kid didn't even play last year.
Right.
And then he switched positions.
Right.
Come on now, y'all got some pumps to break on that one.
Yeah,
and Justin Fields has been doing all that crap he's been doing since against the fourth string. So yeah, y'all can miss me with that crap.
You're not going to convince some people of the way
Nah.
that a team should be built. That's just
the all the armchairs, armchair GMs, man.
Yeah.
Hey, if you like the channel, man, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'm gonna go into my news and Rupert's talk. But you know what though? We didn't do what was the family discussion topic, so we get them to answer in the chat there, Jim.
Yeah. We got to do that. Who do you feel could be a cut that may surprise Prowl Nation? Who do you got? I mean, we said a couple names and stuff. We'll go through some other things going on here in a bit. But yeah, that's it. Who do you feel could be a cut that may surprise Prowl Nation? That's our family discussion topic for today. And Curt, now it's your turn with your topic for today, Detroit Lions news and rumors.
Okay, now my Detroit Lions news and rumors topic is today is Dan Campbell talking about Breshad Perriman. We talked about him a little bit earlier in the show. And he's one of those guys that may just not make this roster coming into camp. He's one of those guys that was probably penciled in a little bit as one of the starters on the offense. You look at him playing playing across from Tyrell Williams, maybe even having Amon-Ra St. Brown in the slot. But Breshad Perriman has not shown much here in camp. Look at, him reuniting with his wide receiver coach in Tampa, Antoine Randall, and that's where he had his best standout years down there in Tampa with the coaching of Randall. It just hasn't panned out here in Detroit. He hasn't been available. We all know that the best ability is availability, and he's been out with a hip injury. He hasn't shown much. Dan Campbell said, if you look at the offensive pass interference he had during the game, he said he's better than that. He knows better than that. His speed can take him just about past anyone, but he hasn't done very well even in camp, dropping a lot of passes. Like I said, Tim Boyle didn't do him a service throwing the ball out wide, but he doesn't need any help dropping passes. He can do that on his own because that's what he's known for. I just don't think that he's going to make the roster. He hasn't shown enough. He hasn't put a lot on tape. You can't keep a guy around that's on your roster like that. I think Quintez Cephas definitely will make the roster and a couple other guys, but I just don't think that Breshad Perriman is not going to reunite the Perriman legacy in Detroit. I just don't see it happening. Dan Campbell's not high on him. He's not sugarcoating it. He's like, I haven't seen enough from him. And he's one of those guys that I can see being cut here right after the last preseason game.
Dan Campbell was really upset about that pass interference thing too. Mm-hmm. He said in his presser, he said that he didn't need to do that. He's fast enough and he ran a good enough route to beat the guy. He didn't need to do that. And that's something that you can tell Dan Campbell does not like mental mistakes.
No.
And that was one of them on Saturday.
Yes, definitely. Hey, it's one of those things. Ella, what do you think about Perriman and his lack of performance during camp here?
He gone. He out of here. He ain't like you said. Dan Campbell said right. He just ain't. He haven't put nothing on tape. He haven't shown him enough, and he got to show him something, and he hasn't. In the game Saturday, he got a lot of bad passes. Well, he got some bad passes thrown to him, but he didn't catch them. He wasn't doing any favors. He just hasn't looked like a receiver that we should keep around. He hasn't given us a reason to keep him around. Not saying that he's not good enough to stay around, but he just ain't gave us a reason to keep him.
This is very true. All right, yeah.
He's turning heads for the wrong reasons.
You turned the wrong way. Hey, man, y'all know what we got to do, man. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, join Prowl Nation. So it's time for my man, LL Cool Torrence, to have his news rumors topics for today. What you got, my man, LL?
All right. Well, I saw it was an article. It said they had the top 5 offensive and defensive rated players from our favorite website, Pro Football Farce. But they had Levi Onwuzurike rated as our top defensive lineman at 90.5. With that said, I'm not sure where the depth chart stands right now, but should Levi Onwuzurike be a starter?
That is an interesting question. I think that he can work his way in the rotation, I still think he's still a little bit green. I don't know if he's going to be able to start. Depends on the Brockers situation. If Brockers is healthy, I can't see him starting over Brockers. I don't know. What do you think, Jim?
I can't either. But
So
Onwuzurike, I think needs more reps though. I think he needs to start with the ones this week.
Yeah,
coming out Friday at 7. I think that he needs to start this week. I think that we need to see more of him, but I think he is green. I do think he needs to learn quite a bit more right now. But he's just a disruptor. Just go in and wreck things. It's really not that hard.
Now he is. I'm not saying he's not good. I'm saying that he's doing his thing. He's making his presence his felt. Coming back from injury. But I was just
double teams.
Yeah, I was just like, I don't know about starting, but
Well, we'll have to see what Brocker's injury is too.
Yeah.
So
what do you think about that?
Who's the other? If we play in a 3-4, who's on the nose? Probably who has been starting? McNeil, right?
Lee McNeil.
Back
so
up
who's gonna? So who should start opposite of Brockers?
I would say Penasini, or actually the guy who's been playing probably the best for me on the defensive line is Kevin Strong. And that's a surprise.
Yeah, he hasn't playing good.
Kevin Strong. I don't know about starting him, but
is he a
maybe
nose or is he?
Yeah, he's a nose he's one of those guys.
I would start Levi if you're asking me. It's one of those. Number one, he needs the playing time, and the only time that he'll get a chance to make a player do anything is if he's on the field. So I mean, I think that I don't really hold that that rating too high. I think he's a good football player outside of the rating, but. Give him a shot. Let him start. You can let him get out there, or keep him with maybe not a starter, but with the first group. On the first drive, on pass rush downs or whatever stuff like that. So give him a shot with the first group.
Rotate him in. I feel you on that one. I feel you.
I actually look at it, and I think Brockers, McNeil, and Onwuzurike would be a force up there. I think that would be. I'm kind of with you, LL, but I just think he's a little green and needs a little more training, a little more practice. Kind of like a Derek Barnes. Derek Barnes is amazing, but I don't see him starting right away.
Yeah, not right away, but
I would. Well, maybe not.
But if it depends on if we have Jamie Collins out there going to Starbucks again, maybe or Anzalone.
Is Jamie Collins safe? He's got a big contract, but that's one of the other names that I'm like,
Even Anzalone.
Even Anzalone. That's true.
Derek Barnes is going to push those guys. I'm 100% sure of that. I definitely am sure of that. Yeah, definitely.
I like him in that Mike position. I really do.
Yes, definitely. All right, man. Hey, it's time to go over and read what you guys had to say. But first, if you haven't done so already, hit the like button, give that thumbs up, baby. And if you ain't a part of Prowl Nation, what you waiting on? Hit the subscribe button or ring the notification bell so you know when you're getting fresh content from us right here on Detroit Lions on the Prowl. All right, Jim, what you got on your comment cards?
The artist formerly known as PC Payload says Tavai equals gone. Boyle equals practice squad are gone. My magic 8 ball doesn't lie. I love that part. You have a magic 8 ball that says Tavai is gone? I don't have that one. It's a Detroit Lions special magic 8 ball. I need to order one of them. Who you got, LL?
All right. James Wilbrandt says, and everyone is overlooking Jeff Okudah, who got beat up in every game he has played in.
See, I see him playing good though on some reps. I don't see him winning every rep. That's for sure. He did get beat deep. He actually.
But his safety help wasn't there either.
Well, that's true.
And that guy, the guy who beat him on that route, is the fastest receiver on the Steelers. That guy, that dude is quick. So.
They had good reps though.
The Juju thing.
I wouldn't say he gets beat up, every single time, but I can see what he means by that.
I do too.
But I don't think that's gonna spill over into too many games.
Deal with it this way. He's the 3rd overall pick, so that's why there's so much pressure on him. Take that out, man. Just take him as an individual player right now. And he's not developing too bad. It took Slay a few years to develop. It's going to take this guy a couple more years because he was injured most of the first year.
Yeah. I mean, you look at
I used to hate Slay. I did not like Slay when he first got when he was young. I did
he was
not
terrible.
like Slay.
Yeah, he was bad. But he developed into. If you look at some of the things he did for his career, working with some of the other guys out there, some of the top corners in the league, improving his game. I think Okudah can do that. He has the ability to get better. He's only going to get better with Aubrey Pleasant at the helm. All right. Yeah, Crimson Shadow 94. My comment just disappeared.
It's there for me. All right, I'll read it. Tim Boyle needs to get cut now. You can't tell how good your receivers are with him. Just start Jordan Tiamu, which is going to be tough because he's cut, and Blau next game.
I'll read the next one. John W. says, great show as usual, guys. Spot on regarding team using the preseason to evaluate young players to see what they have. Survive shown once again he's a day late and he says $1. I'm going to say $50 short in all aspects of his game, as well as Boyle showing absolutely no good reason to be considered a viable backup. Go Lions. Hey, man, that's John W. Man, I have to agree with you 100% on that one. Is what it is.
Joseph Murdoch says, unfortunately, it didn't look good for Tavai, and his outcome should be being cut. Yeah. If they keep him, will it be depth? And that's a big if. I hope y'all have a good weekend. Go Lions. Why everybody want to talk bad about Tavai today? I don't know, man.
Could be because
he's probably gone. He should be gone. And I hope we do have a great weekend.
But the thing is, keep him for depth. I don't want him for depth.
Nope.
I mean, if he comes in and plays terrible, I mean, that doesn't help us any.
Yeah.
So how is he helping us even from a depth perspective?
Nope.
I just don't see it.
And he's just getting overshadowed by Sean D. Hamilton, Anthony Pittman, Derek Barnes. He's getting outplayed by all those guys.
Yeah, he's like fourth on my depth chart now.
Yes.
Exit stage right.
Definitely. All right. The last one would say Sherrod Roberts, who definitely changed his name. Good change. All right. Take a look at Drake London from USC. Use the Rams pick on that kid. He's a big boy that has speed, hands, and can catch the ball and retain after taking a huge pop. I know I'm looking way too ahead, but that kid already has my eye. Well, he'll be, if he do come, Brad Holmes has the eye for those West Coast players anyway, but all the time he spit out there in LA. He'll be reunited with his teammate out there with Amon-Ra St. Brown, but it's kind of early for that.
Yeah,
I mean,
it is
a little bit, but I understand what you're saying.
We'll start doing our draft stuff around January next year. But
yeah,
I'm just kidding.
we'll archive that comment for later. we'll come back.
But you know what? No, it's good because college football's coming up. It's a guy to watch, and maybe we'll be able to watch him and see how he develops for this year, because we definitely are going to need wide receivers.
Definitely.
And now we come to my favorite part of the show. It's brought to you by Delightful Bites. It's a dessert with my man Curt.
Hey, Delightful Bite cookies, man. Custom cookies for every occasion. If you like how they look, you'll love how they taste. Delightful Bites. Get your cookie on. Now, the Dessert with Curt today is an presser I watched yesterday from the Detroit Lions. It was Aubrey Pleasant. That guy is going to be a head coach one day. If you look at how he talked about his instruction, how his approach to the game as far as his players are concerned, even his approach to how he interacts during practices and during the game. He says, I put as much pressure on those guys in practice so I can leave them alone during the game and they can just go out and play their game. He is definitely a teacher. This young man is going to be a rock star in the NFL. And I'm not just saying that because he's from Flint like I am, but this guy is intelligent. He is well-spoken, and he knows how to teach the secondary. He knows how to teach the game of football. So go over to DetroitLions.com or over to the YouTube channel and watch Aubrey Pleasant's presser. He talked about Jeff Okudah having discipline. He talked about Bobby Price moving from safety to corner. And he talked about A.J. Parker and the game he's had. and he just looked at how he approaches being a secondary coach and a defensive passing game coordinator. This guy is a rock star. And if you want to hear probably one of the best pressers from a coach you've heard all year from the Detroit Lions, go over to Detroit Lions on the DetroitLions.com or their YouTube channel and check out Aubrey Pleasant's presser. I'm telling you, you will be impressed with this young coach. And that's my Dessert with your man Curt, brought to you by Delightful Bites.
Yeah, final thoughts for today. Number one, that Aubrey Pleasant thing. I'm not from Flint, and I love the guy. I think he's amazing. I think he not only does his job, but helps with everything else. I think the coaching staff overlaps, and I love that. I love that they're given all their knowledge and not just compartmentalizing themselves into like pigeonholing themselves into one thing. He's talked to the defensive line. He's talked to, he's course the corners, but he's gone all over the defense, and helped out. And that's kind of the brain. That's kind of the brains behind this organization right now. I want to say this, and I'm contemplating doing a show on it. I'm just saying, but you got to pump the brakes on this negativity stuff, man. Come on, dude. It's 2 preseason games. We didn't expect them to be great this year anyway. Now there's people, and I've heard this, are calling for Dan Campbell's head already. I'm like, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? Haven't even played in a meaningful game yet.
It's and that's a lot of people coming from Jim because he's the realist. He keeps it 100 for real. And if he's telling you pump the brakes, you might need to pump the brakes.
Real. Okay. So I also wanted to say welcome LL Cool Torrence to the show, and we really appreciate you being on today. And now we'll go to final thoughts from LL Cool Torrence.
Well, good morning, and again to everybody out there. But thank you guys for having me on. It was fun. But I was watching. It was on Sunday. Whatever preseason game was about to come on. I think it was the early one, and they talk about stuff, and they got around to Dan Campbell, and it's like the whole panel like took a deep breath. And it's like why we haven't even got there yet, and they at some point, no matter who it is, if they're in the media, they always call him a meathead or something. It's just like, it's like wishful thinking. It's like, we wish that he is not we're going to speak this way so he won't be this good or something like that. Leave us alone. Like, let the Lions be good, man.
Yeah, definitely. I feel you on that. Final thoughts for today's show. I like the approach that the Lions coaching staff has taken this preseason. If you look at it, it's all about evaluation. They're evaluating to make sure that they're making the correct roster moves. That game versus Pittsburgh, I don't think it was designed for the Lions to be a dress rehearsal like it was for the Steelers. They have so many people to evaluate, so many guys to look at, because the roster is almost in a complete turnover. So they had to do that with this roster to make sure they have the correct people on the roster for them and who's going to make the team somewhat competitive coming up in the next season. True enough, Jim and I have said 5 to 7 wins. That's where we're going, just because of the fact that we know what we're going up against, the schedule, and just the talent of the roster. It's just not there this year, but we're building something special. So to those guys, like the guys in the media and those negative fans, like you guys just said, hey guys, pump your brakes, man. It's going to be a year or so before we really are competitive and really get to making it where we can be a success here in the Motor City. So with that being said, let's walk over to the Wall of Fame. Yes. All right, so we have our bronze members today. Definitely have Detroit Drew, DSA member, Midwest Lion, Brian Stover, Bo Gagrias, Justin Tinkate, Sage Surratt Roberts, Crystal Wiley, Bubba Bo, Bubba Bo, what's going on, brother? John Kepler, who has a great channel over there as well. Yes. Art Allen, Jimbo G, what up, Jimbo? Oh, David Anderson, who always has some good comments, and the Latino Lion. The 7 members we have, Nomas J, what up, Nomas? Hey, Jason Portis, Cap Ice Cold, Batman of the 313, John Martin, the F5 is blowing through, the tornado, baby, is in the building, and we have Gold Lions. Okay, for our gold members, we have Michael Huck, who always has some interesting takes just in the D. Larry McQuiston, Turner C. Burley, who always provide me some inspiration on Facebook. Dominic Davis, Bob Krowowski, we have Pride 74, Matthew Ferguson, our staff writer for Detroit Lions on the Prowl.com, Random Flag 606, Miles Gibbs, Randy Prince, the Gridiron Blitz, the big fella, North End Ken, baby, and the Dr. Detroit is always in. Okay, to become a member of the Wall of Fame, click the Join Now button in the description or the Detroit Lions on the Prowl logo at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah, and it's time to do that, man. We have a gold members meeting where you guys get to have a Zoom call with us and just talk about your Lions. Some of them last up to 3 hours when I sit there and do it. I mean, it just does. And it's a lot of fun. I get to know you guys. We get to know you guys. You get to know us. And it's a whole different situation from what most people do. Get that, go down there, hit the Join Now button, become a gold member so you can get in on that Wednesday, 3 p.m. Detroit Lions talk with us. And you can do that right now if you want to. So there we go.
All right.
On that.
Definitely. Hey, you know who we are. We are Detroit Lions on the Prowl. You're home for Detroit Lions News and Rumor. And shout out to my grandbaby, my oldest one, Avery. She had her first day of school yesterday, first day of second grade. So have some fun. Papa loves you, and definitely enjoy the rest of the school year. Now, you know who we are. We already told you who we are. Now, what you need to do is be a part of Prowl Nation. Go over to lionsontheprowlshop.com and get yourself some Lions on the Prowl gear. My man Jim's wearing his Lion on the Prowl family shirt. There's so many shirts over there. Cups, mugs, bags, whatever you need to get to be a part of Prowl Nation is over there on that platform. And go over to read some great articles. We already talked about them. Matthew Ferguson is writing some good articles for us over on Detroit Lions on the Prowl.com.
It's really good too.
Good content over there. So go over there and give it a read. And if you want to catch us on another platform, go over to bellyupsports.com. We're over there. The show's over there on that website. And if you want to get your fantasy news and all the cheat sheets and everything you need for your fantasy team, go over and check those guys out over at bellyupsports.com. They have a ton of fantasy gurus over there to get you right for the upcoming fantasy draft. No matter
also,
if it's
one thing, get the
daily
audio
or
version
snacks.
Get the audio version of the podcast when you're going and working out, or you're on the treadmill, or you're in your car and you can't see the video. Hey, we got the audio version for you. So you know what? We ain't going to hold you up. Go over there and look at that audio version. We will be starting to put that link in the community tab, also in our Facebook group and on Twitter. So wherever you see us, I'll be putting that link in there and in our description, so you can go there and enjoy that content while you're on the go.
Definitely. And if you want to get yourself some Lions gear at a decent price, because they have sales all the time, go over to fanatics.com. You know, I'm wearing the fresh new sideline gear cap. I got it over there at fanatics.com. And now they take Venmo. Whoa, they take Venmo now. Venmo's on Fanatics. So go over there and check it out. You can pay several different ways over there. You can get yourself a Fanatics card. You can get yourself Venmo. You can pay Afterpay. All those things are available over to you on Fanatics. And a portion of the proceeds in the link in the description help us grow the content on this channel. Woo, that's a lot to say. It's Tuesday, baby. Hey, you know, the preseason's winding down. The last preseason game is this week. But like we said, it's only 2 games. And the Lions coaching staff and the front office is taking a different approach, something we haven't seen here in Detroit. And you got to remember, we only got 3 preseason games right now. So it's going to take some a longer time to evaluate. So just calm down, people. It's going to be okay. Hey, finish up your lunch. Go ahead, clean the crumbs off your face, finish up your pop, and get back to work, people. And whatever you do in life, you got to boss up, ball out, and be the best version of you that you can be. For the panel, this is Curt Steele, and we will holler at you real soon.